Her insomnia and says the experience was stressful, not restful. So she wants a refund.
State your name.
My name is Sally Park.
Sir?
My name is Jamie Williams.
All right, and ma'am, you're suing the defendant for $3,220, alleging that he didn't provide what was promised, restorative sleep.
That is correct.
All right, start with you.
Well, I have always had a very hard time sleeping since I can remember, and I'm a flight attendant, so I'm on the go all the time. So one of my very good friends recommended this sleep wellness retreat.
What were you told it would do for you?
I was told I would get restorative sleep, I would get insight on
Did
how...
they describe how? Did they describe the process?
They promised 2 workshops, 2 2-hour workshops, plenty of amenities throughout the day.
Okay.
The workshops were in the evening, and then you would go to bed around 7 p.m.
Okay.
They had these very...
7 o'clock?
That's when the lights went out. Yeah, 7 p.m.
No wonder you suing him. Go ahead. Who goes to bed at 7 o'clock? Go ahead.
So the big selling point were these wellness sleep beds that provided a spiritual, mental, physical...
Oh, please.
sleep.
Girl, bye. You let this man tell you...
We didn't claim nothing, Your Honor.
You let this man tell you a mattress would give you a spiritual experience.
We did not.
What, did it make you feel like you're in heaven? Is that the spiritual? Okay,
Apparently.
I can go with that maybe. But you sound like some type of Swami was on the bed.
Well,
What did you expect from a spiritual experience? What do you think he meant?
I was open to whatever. I've tried everything to get good sleep. I've tried all the teas, all the...
I'm just wondering,
medicines.
it went through your mind when he said you lay in this wellness bed, and you'll have a spiritual experience?
I was open to it, and they said...
You didn't know what to expect. Okay.
I didn't know what to expect, but I was open to whatever that might be. They said they had advanced technology with the beds, lighting, temperature, sounds. So, yeah, I was open to whatever.
Do you have anything, any pamphlet or anything that they gave you?
I do have the pamphlet, and I have the booking confirmation.
Let's see that, please. The pamphlets at this point, the pamphlets. See what they promised in the process that you may have been given.
Here we are.
And how many times were you to go for $3,000?
It was 2 days. Yes.
And you didn't talk to your doctor about going to sleep?
I've tried, and I've tried.
Go to a hypnotist? Did you go to a hypnotist maybe? No?
No hypnotist.
Sleep wellness retreat, workshops, lights out, bed activation. Did you feel anything with the bed? He said bed activation.
I did not.
Did it shake or anything? Nothing? Talk to you?
It made sounds.
See? It did make sounds.
It made sounds, and they were very unpleasant for me. It wasn't soothing.
Rock and roll, heavy metal, blasting. Please note that it may take time to adjust. What you didn't ask, if this is your first time booking with us, it may take time to adjust. So let me get to the defendant, sir. What do you want to tell me about what you provide, your service provides?
Well, at the Wellness Bed Resort, we provide a 2-day course. And that 2-day course includes a workshop that runs from 3 to 5 on those 2 days, where we fly in specialists that help the plaintiff to fall asleep and just suggesting which kind of sleep patterns she had in the past and how we can improve on those. The bed is helping with that remedy because we are having room temperature, bed temperature, as well as lights, blue lights, green lights, just to calm down a little bit, or red lights for the morning in order to get active when you get out of bed. We also inform the plaintiff about her eating habits, that she should not eat no sugar or any heavy foods before she goes to sleep, which got to my attention, which she not honor. She used our 24 hours service from our cook in order to get her meals and desserts just practically at 7, and at 7:30 she still ordered food. So that might have something to do with the pattern.
Tell me about this lights out at 7 p.m., so that doesn't sound reasonable. How does that relate to sleep?
Well, the lights of the bed, that's the ambient light. Of course, people cannot, if they wake up and have to go to the bathroom, they need some light to find the bathroom.
No. It's rare that someone goes to sleep at 7.
Well, everybody comes from a different time zone, and the time zones vary throughout the country, of course. So we inquire with everybody that comes to the retreat.
LA is 4 p.m. then. You put her to sleep at 4 p.m.
Well, no, well, people have to adjust, of course. So we tell them.
You want to adjust 4 p.m.
Well, yeah, sure, she has to adjust to that, of course. And usually it takes at least 24 hours to adjust to the time patterns, which we informed her to come prior.
How do you help it occur in 24 hours?
Usually with yoga and sports, and we have a pool, we have a water ballet, we have fitness activities that we offer to the clients in order for them to get rid of some unnecessary energy.
It said lights out at 7 p.m. You thought that would occur? You felt that was reasonable?
I thought I was willing to try it, see if it helped me sleep.
All right, so what did happen?
So
what did happen?
Well, the first night, so there were 2 nights. The first night, I could not sleep because of those sounds emerging from the bed. They were not relaxing, they were disturbing, and I was hoping that...
Did you say something to him?
I did. I went to the defendant and I asked if we could just turn it off. And
how long after hearing the noises did you go? That same night?
Yes,
or evening, or that same afternoon? Maybe y'all go to sleep in the afternoon.
No, during the night, around 8 p.m., an hour into it, I couldn't relax with the sounds.
What did he say?
He said they cannot turn off the sounds from the beds because it's all interconnected, and he offered sound canceling headphones, and I don't think they're comfortable to sleep in.
Did you put them on?
I tried them out. They were uncomfortable, and I can't sleep that way, so I took them off. I tried relaxing. Overall, got maybe 3 hours of quality sleep. And then the next night, there was a storm, and a Miami storm is very different than an LA storm. It was very, very loud, very aggressive. So that did not help my situation. And around 1 a.m., the power completely went out, and that means the beds, the amenities of the beds, they go out too. So I was actually starting to doze off right before that, but then everything just abruptly turned off.
Did he ever tell you, well, let's go to the second day, the beginning of the second day. Did you tell him you only had a few hours sleep?
I did, and they gave me some more tips and tricks, but they said that the sounds are...
He said to me that it might take, well, let's see, I think it may be on here. Intended to help you discover your ideal sleep, but please note that it might take time to adjust.
Right.
And so you expected one night, it sounds like.
I just was hoping that the first night, well, it was only 2 nights long. I was hoping I'd get 2 good nights of sleep, and that just wasn't the case at all.
Yeah, but you should have asked, what do you mean by take time to adjust? It's only 2 days. Do you mean when I leave here, it might take 3 to 5 days based on practicing the techniques you've given me? Maybe that's what, you didn't get any further explanation about it taking time? That's a question you would definitely want to know, particularly after you haven't gotten to sleep. I went right back to that brochure. Let me see what he didn't promise you. I don't feel none of this. All right. No, that ain't happening. No, I don't feel that. And I don't feel that.
And I went to him the last morning, right before I left. I asked if I could have
not before
refund.
you left. The next morning, when you couldn't sleep, did you go to him and tell him that I only got 3 hours of sleep? What's the deal?
They gave some more insight on why I was experiencing the sleeplessness, and I think the sounds were just disturbing. I don't think anyone can sleep with that.
Let me go to him, and if and warn him. Give him a chance to cure. That's what it's in the law. You give someone a chance to cure the violation, or what is appearing to be short of what you were promised. Or
exactly. You
got to give him a chance to fix it.
And that's
but he won't know unless you call him.
That's what I was hoping. The second night,
you didn't tell him no. You said you didn't tell him. You said you waited on the workshop. I bet you were asleep in the workshop. You didn't even hear that. What are you saying, sir? I'm
saying we tried to be responsive to her concerns after the second day, and we told her that she had to apply these techniques, breathing techniques, sleep and yoga meditations, throughout the days that she's present on the facility. If she cannot fall asleep, she should go with our triple or box breathing techniques that we offered. And I'm not in control over if she's using those techniques or not. She didn't mention anything to us, but we're hoping that everybody.
She said she expected to go to sleep that night and the second night. So in those two cases, you are responsible.
I am. Well, we always say that we're not claiming that it's going to work as of the day of the workshop, that it takes several days to have its full effect.
Did you hear that? Did you ever hear that?
No.
It's written in the policy that you signed.
Let me see your policy. It's not written here. Well, it implies it. It implies it may take time. It does say that.
Coming up, your contract.
It may take time to adjust. What you thought time was an hour?
I was hopeful. And after the first night, I was.
And the second night, ma'am, that's act of nature, act of God is what we call it in the law. So you can't include you not being able to hear it because of the thunderstorm. That's an act of God. So everybody loses out in that case.
Cannot control that.
Yes. So a couple of things, ma'am. You're a flight attendant.
I am.
You said that your sleep is always off. They probably rarely have flight attendants. May not have dealt with one ever. So they're dealing with people who live and work normal hours. Just can't sleep at night. That's their typical customer, no doubt. Or am I right or wrong?
Or typical customers, but we also work with people that have severe sleep insomnia and sleeping problems.
I know that. That's what I'm saying it is. I'm saying the difference is she is a flight attendant who might work 4 hours behind, go to Europe, be 9 hours behind, next day 2 hours behind. So you are a unique customer, ma'am, and you should not have expected it to work as soon as you might have, that most folks, quite frankly. Any techniques you learned after you left?
I tried to, but I just had such a negative experience there. It was difficult to, because it didn't work then. I figured.
All right. First of all, it may be a result of your sleep pattern based on your flights, the changes in time that you go through every single week, every other day, no doubt. And so you had a tremendous issue, and who knows whether this could have resolved that. Secondly, it told you would have to adjust it would take time to adjust, and you were frustrated, so you didn't practice the techniques. Thirdly, just to a new environment. Oh, and the other thing, you didn't tell him the next morning. You waited on a workshop to teach you more techniques. Instead of going to him, said, hey, I didn't sleep last night. I only slept 3 hours. What should I do? Before the workshop, go directly to him. Were you available?
We are always available, 24/7.
She could have come to you.
We're available, and she received the workshop really well.
You didn't give him a chance to cure.
The feedback was that she liked the workshop, and she really liked the way how
Would you allow
teachers,
Would you allow her to come back? Why don't we do that?
I rather not, because there is nothing that can please this woman. She has noise in her head.
Do you want to go back?
If I can get sleep, yeah.
Your Honor, I respectfully decline.
Okay. Well, she might win.
How will Judge Mathis rule? Find out when Mathis Court returns.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Promotional consideration provided by...
Jordan's sore nose let out a fiery sneeze, so Dad grabbed Puffs Plus lotion to soothe her with ease. Puffs Plus lotion is gentle on sensitive skin and locks in moisture to provide soothing relief. A nose in need deserves Puffs indeed. America's #1 lotion tissue.
I live with a broken phone. I can't trade in.
Okay, that's dramatic. Better plan's Verizon.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
New and existing customers can trade in any Samsung phone for a new Galaxy S24 Plus watch and tablet, all on us. That's up to $1,800 in value, only on Verizon.
Some people just know that the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not one based on Paul. You don't want to ride with Paul. Or Sarah. Not today, anyway. And you don't want to rate based on Ben. He's got some important business to take care of. Why would you pay a rate based on anyone else? With Allstate, you're connected to a rate based on you.
This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. You can't not pay for a service that you try and use and it doesn't work. You have to give the person an opportunity to cure, and you did not. You did not inform him. You just sued. You just don't go and sue. You say there's something wrong, this light isn't working, I'm not sleeping at night because the light won't go off.
Well, I did go to him when I said that I couldn't sleep with the sounds, and he knew that, and I wanted to just give it one more shot.
Earplugs, we offered headphones.
Yes, you offered that night. So you should have come back to him and say, that didn't work either, Mr. Williams. You have anything else I can try? You didn't.
I wanted to give him one more night of sleep try and see if it got better the second night.
No, you're supposed to come to a person. The lights don't go off unless you fix them. Have a good day. Your claim is dismissed. You didn't inform him. You didn't give him a chance to fix it. I believe that he was beyond. I believe that this service was beyond your needs. I believe you needed something else, and I don't think this was enough to teach you to sleep in one night. It said it may take an extended time. Certainly, you're the one that would need that extended time. But you better stop that 4 p.m. else you're going to be sued a lot. Nobody go to sleep no 4 p.m. Have a good day.
All rise.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
I'm very disappointed. I feel like I was cheated out $3,000, and I just wanted some rest.
Justice was served today. Service has been rendered.
January Robeson is suing Grant Mowry in the amount of $5,950. Ms. Robeson claims her online date cooked a romantic dinner for her and says it caused a fire, which got worse when the defendant tried to extinguish the flames.
State your name.
My name is January Robeson.
All right. Yours?
My name is Grant Mooring.
All right, and you are suing the defendant for $5,950, alleging he is responsible for causing a fire to damage your property?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, start with you. Give me some background.
Okay, I'm a single mother of 3 kids, and I'm a retired bank investor. And my husband of 20 years cheated on me with his secretary. So that was the end of that marriage. So obviously, I want to meet somebody to spend the rest of my life with.
When did you divorce?
About 5 years ago.
Okay. What have you been doing? You say you wanted to meet someone since then.
I went on a dating site.
Okay.
And that's where I met Mr. Mowry. Okay. And we engaged in long-distance romance. He lives in Houston. I live in LA. And so we had long conversations on the telephone, and we even had FaceTime videos.
Oh, I'm
with
scared
a little
before
bit
a minute. I thought you was going to tell me more than we need to know.
Well, we did.
And we even, where your face look, you lit up like a Christmas tree and say, yeah, and we even had FaceTime. Okay, all right. Background from you, sir.
That is correct. We met on a dating site, and even the first time I talked to her, she said her love language was gifts. So that's why I started sending her gifts. And the more gifts I sent her, and I sort of realized this red flag, the more she liked me, the more I'll come out to LA and visit me. And so that's what I did. I came out to Los Angeles. She lives in Beverly Hills.
Okay, how was that stay?
Well, I would say the first 3 hours were good, and then it went south after that.
How so? So you got a 3-hour run. How so? What happened?
And again, what happened? So I got to her house, and she said, hey, I want to show you my house, and I'm going to be very nice here. She said, hey, I want to go to the bedroom. And I was like, okay. But, it's kind of embarrassing. As a man, it's going to be very embarrassing, but, everything didn't work that day. If you know what I mean. Manhood thing didn't work that day.
No, I know what you mean. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I'm an older woman, and I have standards. Some people say that I'm picky, but I have standards. And I do not badmouth a man that cannot come up to my standards. But he and I are not meant for each other at all.
Why?
So the last night he was there, he insisted on cooking me dinner. So he cooks. Well, he takes that little pill, and then the next thing you know, I'm in the living room. And he left a frying pan of grease unattended on my stove. Guess what happened? Started a fire. And do you know what he did to put it out? He got the lid and a towel, which guess what happened? It ignited it more and it spread to another room.
Judge Mathis. Sir, let me hear from you on this.
So then that is true. I took the magic blue pill so I could do what we needed to do. So I was cooking, and I think she really liked that. She came and started kissing on me and telling me some nice things in my ear, and she took me out to the living room. We were sitting on the couch and getting to know each other in an intimate way. And then all of a sudden I smelled some smoke, and I said, "Do you have a smoke detector?" She's like, "No, I don't think so." So I jumped up, ran in the kitchen, and there it was. That grease fire had started, and all those there was a lid and that towel, and just out of reaction, I grabbed the lid and I put the towel, and she came into the kitchen.
Who put the
and I
fire
said,
out with the towel?
"Do you have a fire extinguisher?" She's like, "What's a fire extinguisher?"
I did not say that.
You don't need an extinguisher until the fire starts. Do you think it would have happened had someone not started the fire?
Well, a fire has to start by somebody,
Right.
yes.
And how did it start this time?
By the grease.
And who was dealing with the grease?
Well, I was, sir, but she took me away.
$5,950 is your judgment, as he admitted, and therefore you are the one, you and the grease, had the grease split it with you, since you want to put it on the grease. And he's the one he and the grease are going to pay you $5,950. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
All rise.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $5,950.
I'm sorry it came to this. I am a good person, but you did start the fire, so I'm sorry.
I'm glad I live in Houston and you live in LA.
Holly Saint is suing Annabelle Lane in the amount of $350. Miss Saint claims the date of her cousin's going-away party changed and says Miss Lane refuses to pay for the flowers since the blooms she wanted were out of season.
State your name.
Holly Saint.
Ma'am?
Annabelle Lane.
All right. And Holly, you are suing the defendant, or Miss Lane, for $350, alleging she owes you this money because she didn't complete a contract regarding the delivery of flowers, correct?
This is correct.
Start with you.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. So my cousin here, her and I, we haven't always been that close, but she moved to LA about 2 years ago, and our moms are sisters, and they suggested that we work together for her going away party. 9 months after she came, she goes back home, so she wanted a going away party. Her big
Why
thing,
did she go back home after 9 months of being in LA?
Commitment issues, I guess.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Why?
That was for work. I had work commitments, and it would only last 9 months, and then the contract got extended.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought maybe you were like me. I tried to go home 9 months after moving here with my family, but they weren't going for it. What type of job was it? I'm just curious. Tell us about where were you moving again?
Back to Texas. So I'm originally from Texas. I moved out to Los Angeles because I'm an event planner, booked my dream gig here, and I've been here for about 2 years.
And what did she do to cause you to sue her regarding her flower services?
So I'm suing her because I gave her what she asked for, the 20 arrangements as we agreed upon, and on her side, I didn't meet her expectations, but I gave her the best of my ability, the flowers that were available.
Oh, so you're admitting that you didn't meet your expectations?
The thing is, the flowers were out of season, and the party got pushed back twice. So I was unable to deliver the flowers she wanted without giving a drastic increase in price.
What did she want? Describe what she asked for.
She wanted blue bonnets to signify how blue she would be to all her friends when she went back to Texas. And
that she would be sad. Is that what you mean by be blue? She would be the party. I want blue flowers to show my friends in LA that I'm going to be sad when I leave them? Is that?
Exactly, Your Honor.
Excuse me, Your Honor, there's more of a metaphor to all of this. I specifically wanted blue bonnets, which are the Texas state flower, of course.
There you go.
And then they also would signify, you know, how sad I was to leave LA.
Pardon? They would also how sad you
How
were
sad I would
to
be,
leave
yes.
LA. Now you're lying there. You know you're trying to
It's the weather.
You know you're trying to get out of that $3,000 rent you was paying for that 500 square foot apartment. That's the prices out here for folks that are watching. Now you want your Hollywood dream. Come on out here if you want to, as long as you got big money in your pocket. All right. And what do you say of the flowers that she delivered?
I specifically asked for blue bonnets, not only blue bonnets, but an overall blue theme.
But she said you changed things. I'll let you tell me, though.
So I didn't change what type of flower or, you know, the theme of the flowers that I wanted. I just pushed back the date because the date of my work kept getting extended and extended, so I would push back my going away party until when I'd actually be going away. Unfortunately, that would just mean that the
You
blue
said I would push back as if it happened more than once.
It did. It happened twice.
15 months later, Your Honor, the party was planned.
Let me hear from her, because it does sound a little unreasonable that you changed twice, and well, the question becomes, did you let her know you could not bring what she expected, the blue flowers? And what did you bring, by the way?
Right, so
I'm asking, what did you bring?
I brought flowers, as you can see in the evidence, that are blue.
Let me have your evidence. No, I don't have any evidence to see. Thank you.
And I got as close as I could to the blue bonnets, something very similar, but they weren't exactly the blue bonnets, as there's not actually a complete blue flower. As you can see here in the photo, the flowers I chose were as close to blue as I could provide without having to go above and beyond with the price, and she wasn't willing to pay more, as you see in the text message.
Let me just ask you your interpretation of these colors, ma'am. What color is that?
You're asking me, Your Honor?
Yes.
Blue.
Now, what color is the other one?
Purple.
Okay. And you were expected to bring all blue?
She just wanted blue bonnets incorporated into the floral arrangement.
Is that correct?
I wanted blue bonnets and an overall blue theme. And she also stated...
So she brought she brought flowers with blue bonnets. That's correct or not?
No, not correct.
Okay, I don't know anything about flowers. Are those bonnets, is that what you're referring to as the blue bonnet?
They are not blue bonnets, but
what is the bonnet? Where is a bonnet?
There is no bonnet, Your Honor.
The bonnets would have costed over twice the price. They just weren't available.
You weren't willing to pay twice the price? Did she tell you it would cost twice the price?
Not twice the price. She did say there would be an increase in price, but didn't specify how much.
And how long before the event did you let her know you would need them? Did you call her? She says it was 15 months later, but was it, all right, so if it, the 16th month, say it occurred the 16th month, when did you tell her? The 14th month, the 15th month, or a week before, which would be the 16th month?
Your Honor, the very first month, from the beginning that we started planning this party.
But you changed it 3 times or twice. Go ahead.
When we started planning this party, it was 9 months out, right? So that gave her 9 months of notice. Then we pushed it back, and then we pushed it back one more time to create that 16-month time span.
The last time, what was that date scheduled to be?
November 12th.
November 12th. When did you request of her the flowers to be delivered November 12th?
It was June 15th, I believe.
Is that about right, ma'am?
Was the original date?
Nope, the last date.
I think it was a little bit later.
When she requested that you come November.
That would have been 3 months before that November date, sir.
Not June. Between June and November is not 3 months.
No, that was the first date.
No wonder you getting sued. You can't count. What? Well, I'm not asking her. Keep telling me about the first date, the last date. Hold on.
I believe it was September, Your Honor.
We're going to do this. We're going to make this real easy. You write it twice. One for the plaintiff. One for the defendant. All right, make sure she can read it. Yeah. Now, what does that sheet say? Loud and clear.
Last.
What does that sheet say?
Last.
Are we clear now?
Yes.
All right. The last event, November 12th, your final change.
Yes.
When did you notify her, hey, I need everything on November 12th now? When did you tell her that?
That would have been September 1st, to be exact.
We've had 3 dates here.
Yes.
June, 6 months, 15th month. Now it's September. Is it about that, ma'am? 2-month notice?
It was September, Your Honor.
Okay, and not knowing much about the floral business, you got to give me a little more explanation as to why you could not get the described floral arrangement in 2 months. That just doesn't sound. It sounds like you can order it. Sounds like you can go to a, well, I guess a competitor. Well, if you're giving a competitor money, they'll give you the floral arrangement. It just sounds unreasonable. You got to explain to me why you can't get a particular floral arrangement in 2 months. Go ahead.
The thing is, Your Honor, when they're out of season, it costs exponentially more.
Then did you tell her that?
I did. And
was she willing to pay it?
She was not. As you can see in the text messages, I told her, and she said, I'm not willing to pay that much, girly, or something along those lines.
I can't spend anymore. So why didn't you say, well, I can't give you what you're asking for?
I did. I told her I could accommodate best without having the blue bonnets, trying to still make it work.
You didn't give me that text.
I told her, I don't know if it's in the text there, but I said I can work with you to make it seem a similar vibe to what you're asking for. But unfortunately...
Was that the discussion?
The discussion was, here, I think I have the text that she's referring to,
yes.
If you would like to see
So
that.
the date of the party, I don't need it twice. What you handing in? You said you have what she referring to. Go ahead.
I think there may have been a...
Continued text, all right. Did
Yes.
she cut off? You're right. I was wondering, that did mysteriously look like a interesting ending to a conversation. The flowers I'm using aren't going to be truly blue. She told you, you're going to give me evidence to hurt yourself. Why would you do that?
I needed blue flowers, and I had said that in our next text message.
But she tells you the flowers I'm using, she gives you clear notice, aren't going to be truly blue.
Your Honor, I may have been okay with that change had I received a photo of what the floral arrangement would have looked like so I could approve it, and I never received that photo until the day of.
Did you ask?
I did, yes. It should be in that sheet.
Okay, but I do see your insistence. Your response is, after she tell you all that, you got a 4-word response. I need blue bonnets. I'll do my best to have blue flowers and keep the color of the floral arrangement looking similar to your vibe. Kay, can you send a pic? Hey girl, it's the day of the event and you never sent a pic. When is it coming in? Did you get a response from that?
I did. Yes, then I received the photo.
All I see is a picture. Oh, that's when she sent the photo.
That's when she sent.
And this was the day of, as you say. And then when you saw them, what was the conversation?
Then when I
between
saw
the two
her,
of you, when you saw them and she brought them?
I was furious. I couldn't even look at her in the face because she had told me that she would do her best to keep with that blue theme, and the majority of the flowers that I had received are purple.
Did she explain to you the season issues that are not available during the season that you've now postponed the event for? The original date was the season in which they're available, but you've changed them twice, so you've almost went through 2 more different seasons, and she says they're not available year-round, and I don't know. Do you know?
Yes, sir. We had that conversation, and we came to the conclusion that I was okay without the blue bonnets, but I wanted the blue theme. That's what the overarching theme of my
Well, you
party
had
was
some blue in here.
And Your Honor, if you go to our
You should
contract...
just put a sign. You know, when did they send you a sign? Put the little sign up there. Look at the blue.
Your Honor, if I may
Yes.
discuss further, I was uncomfortable putting more money into her business as each week she has a new hobby. I don't know how long this florist thing is going to last with her.
Hobbies are you referring to? The woman can have any hobby she wants.
I'm
What do you
referring
swim, play basketball,
I'm
lift
an artist.
weights,
I like to create.
skate? What other hobbies?
What other
You know
hobbies?
all this woman's hobbies.
She's
How you-
been a restaurateur. She's been a writer. She can't keep a job. She can't keep a boyfriend. It's always fluctuating. She just can't stay consistent with anything. So I was uncomfortable spending more money.
You know what I just heard? That she has a conglomerate. She has several businesses. That's what a conglomerate is, or holding company. She operates several businesses and she don't have time for no man. Because she's trying to get her coins. You talking about she don't have a man?
Your Honor.
Didn't you say that?
Yes, I did
Well
say
then,
that.
and I'm telling you why.
However, I would believe that fact if it were true, but none of her hobbies have proved to be consistent.
You counting her money?
No, sir.
Well then, how you know whether she making any money at her restaurant?
Because she doesn't have that job anymore, sir.
Well, she went on to bigger things. What was the other one?
A writer.
How'd you do with that?
Pretty good.
You make any money?
Yeah.
This stumps me because I don't know much about flowers. I'm gonna have to take a break and see when they bloom. Are they available? What? This is in November. I have to see if blue bonnets are available or if they grow in the fall, specifically November. That's going to determine the case, man. She can't give you what she can't find. And if you don't want to pay the exponential amount as well, we'll adjourn for a hot second with Judge Mathis. Made a couple calls, called my wife, called a couple other people. And the point is that they are from March to May. That's when they're grown. So you pushed it way beyond the time in which they would be available. And she told you, I just read the text. So I'm going to grant her her $350. She provided her service best she could based on the circumstances, and the circumstances were you changed them twice, moved the dates beyond the time in which blue bonnets are grown, and she told you that she could get you what she could get you, and you accepted it. You just didn't like it when she got there. And so I'm going to grant her judgment. So have a good day.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $350.
See you at Christmas.
If you had been more responsible, maybe I would have taken your word that you have gotten me blue flowers.
Jacob Marius is suing Ronald and Joyce Pruitt in the amount of $13,750. Mr. Marius claims the married couple played him for a fool and says the Pruitts manipulated his emotions so he would invest in their business.
All right. You all are suing the defendants for $13,750, sir. You are claiming you were manipulated into funding their business. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Start with you.
Well, I'm suing my ex-friends, Ron and Joyce, because they manipulated me. They took emotional, they took advantage of me emotionally, and it's led to a lot of trauma that I have not been able to process or get past. Like Ron was.
What did they do? They go to the psychologist now? You on meds?
Well,
what trauma did they cause you? That's where I'm going now, because that's most important to me.
Well,
what happened?
When I moved to Houston, Ron was my first friend that I met, and we started playing tennis together, and then he introduced me to Joyce right away after that. And so then that began, we were friends.
Joyce is your wife, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Well, Mrs. Pruitt.
There you go.
She entered into a sexual relationship with me.
Oh.
That turns
no
out.
wonder you said Joyce.
He was
I'm sorry. You used to saying that name. Ma'am, is this true? Let's start there first.
Yes, it's true, but it didn't start we met and started having relations. We started working out together a lot because Ronald had a knee issue, so I stepped in as the tennis partner. Jacob and I spent a lot of time together. I'm very business oriented. I had a business degree and my kids were grown. I wanted to start a business, and Jacob was really cool. I was pitching him my ideas, showing him my business plan. We set up a website. He was very interested and volunteered to
Okay, and I
invest.
don't know what you're referring to in terms of business, so maybe he could tell me more because he's suing you, and he would have the knowledge that I would either rely on or reject.
Well, she had been going on about this business idea, and she said she had some equipment that she needed to show me. So I go to the house, we park, and she's on me before I even get up the driveway. He was out of town, and she was telling me it was a total secret, that we had to be very careful around Ron, and I was being careful around him. We started carrying on. It was really intense, and we just sort of had this, super connection. And so it was about 2 or 3 weeks, about a month or so later, whenever she started in with her business idea. She had this big idea about her, she wanted to rent sports equipment and she needed money. And so it started with that. She figured out that she needed $6,000 to get started.
To do what, sir?
She said she needed $6,000 to get started.
What type of business?
She's starting some sort of sports rental business.
Okay, and it was supposed to be a gift, or was she supposed to return it?
Well, we didn't really get into it all the time. It was a sort of an investment, but in a way...
No, you have to discuss it if it is an investment. We didn't get into it all the time about it. Get into it one time. Was it a loan? Was it an investment? Or was it a gift?
It was a gift, Your Honor.
There you go. Go ahead.
She set up a website. She got a logo, done.
I needed a location. I needed a vertical
How often
store.
were you all seeing each other?
About once a week or
a few times a week.
Few times a week.
Yeah, he enjoyed coming over for tea. And playing tennis.
And you enjoyed having him there by the end of the day, by the end of that tea.
But it was
yes, she
did. It just was for my satisfaction.
Why are you humiliating your husband like this?
It's not. It's consensual between my husband and I. We have this agreement.
Oh, you don't mind men coming over in your bed? So hold on, ma'am. You just said what you do with men is consensual with your husband. So let me ask your husband, do you allow men to come to your home and sleep in the bed with your wife? Your wife says it's consensual. I'm asking you.
We have a consensual relationship. Yes, sir, Your Honor.
You will allow men to come sleep in your bed with your wife. Got it.
Well, it was on the pool table.
I understand.
Well,
go ahead.
It's true we started on the pool table, but why would he have even known that? Joyce was telling me that this was between us. And
no, they've been discussing it, and it's consensual. Maybe they sit up and she tell the stories, and he enjoys hearing the stories. Who knows? With Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with a case of Jacob Marius, who is suing Ronald and Joyce Pruitt for emotional distress.
First it was $6,000. The next was how much?
Well, she started saying that she needed more money.
So I can get you freaks out of here. What?
She said she needed another $6,000 because she wanted to set up a storefront that it had to be a physical location, and there was a place for lease. I drove past. I gave her the extra $6,000. I've got where I sent her the money.
Please, Andrew.
Here's where I sent her the first $6,000. And then there's
everything was fine with you until you saw that text. Just emotional ridiculousness.
Well, we were going on for 9 months of this, and we were keeping it quiet from Ron.
So far, the first $6,000 for the sports rental, what month and year?
That was, I believe, in August of 22.
All right, and the next one was a $6,000 as well?
That was in August, so as soon as I came up with the $6,000,
did you give her any more money? I need to know that first.
I didn't give her the money, but I've incurred money because of their behavior. My therapy bills come to $1,370.
What did she do to your therapy? What did she do to your mind? She blew your mind?
Exactly.
She blew your mind? You should stop going over there if you couldn't handle it, Doc. You should say, ooh, that's too much for me. She too high-powered. I like the freak, but that's some high-powered freaking. I can't keep up with that. You don't keep going when you get turned out the first time. You say it's too much. Nobody taught you that, and that's what happened to you, isn't it?
Well, we had made love upstairs.
He keeps calling it love, sir.
It was love for him.
I guess it was.
Yeah.
To them,
you see, he turned out, sir. He's lost his mind by his own admission. He's suing her because he lost his mind when she gave him loving. So yeah, he was in love if he lost his mind. And you stayed with him, now you gotta go to the psych man.
Oh, well.
To the psych doctor.
We were making love, and she got up after we were finished, and she got up.
I don't even get turned out by the stories. No. You're gonna have me looking over there. Oh yeah, woo.
But so,
just tell me a little bit now.
Well, she's in the shower, and so so she's making some noise. She's singing in there, and I hear her phone ding. Like her phone goes off on the nightstand, and I look over, and it lights up, and there's a text from Ron that he texted over that I have right here.
Read it to me.
It says, it's from Ron with a heart, and it says, when you two are done, let me know. I want to come inside and give you a kiss. Is what he was saying to her.
All right. What else you want me to know, sir? Well, let's get back to the money, man.
When I saw this, I took a picture of it with my phone.
He shouldn't be in my phone. That's just
Let's see it, please, Andrew.
Insecure and invasion of privacy.
You don't want me to look at it?
No, I'm just saying he shouldn't have looked at my phone.
I'm just saying, if
at
you're
this
requesting
point,
that.
that's the least of my worries at this point.
You wanted me to look at everything else.
Ron, when you are done, let me know.
Well, I'm sure you had a good time, too.
Yeah, whatever the case, sir. What y'all doing is not against the law.
Well, our marriage is much stronger now. It's all good. And we have a growing business. And everything was great.
Thanks to me, you have a growing business.
Yes.
And he was part of it whenever
Let's get to the money you want. So you want the other $7,000 because of the psych job she did on you?
Well, I deserve money for my therapist bills.
You be at the psych doctor for how much?
13.
Lord have mercy. But you said 6 of it was a gift. So let's get to that part.
Can't take a gift back, sir. She was leading me on and telling me that this was, she was emotionally manipulating me the whole time. She was
misrepresenting the intent of which she was going to spend the money on, perhaps? Or did you spend it on the business, man?
I absolutely spent it on the business. I purchased the equipment to start the business. But people to go buy golf clubs, they're $2,000 sometimes. So we bought like a few sets so people can rent them from us, like starting tennis rackets until they've we bought all sizes, and shapes.
And unless you can prove otherwise, sir, a gift is just that. You can't take a gift back. You can't enforce a promise of a gift. You can enforce a promise of a contract, but you can't enforce a promise of a gift. And so you have completed this gift. And so you certainly can't take it back. She owned that money time you put it in her hands. Didn't owe you a dime back. It was hers. So, this emotional distress that you walked into, can't nobody help it because you get turned out. If everybody if all the men that get turned out want to come to court and sue the woman, the courts will be lined around the corner. Now you've learned the lesson. Don't go back to no woman who gives you too much that you can take on the first time. All right?
I won't, Your Honor.
All right, because when she leaves, be going just where you went, to the psych doctor. Blow your mind. All right. She blew his mind a long time ago. That's why he going for anything, whatever it is. Maybe you want to see somebody else? Fine, as long as you blow my mind when it's time. So your case is dismissed.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the co-defendants. The plaintiff's case has been dismissed.
Any last remarks for each other?
প্রথমত অবশ্যই আপনাকে পূর্বের যত গুনাহ করেছেন তার জন্য তওবা করতে হবে এবং পুনরায় আল্লাহ তাআলার রাস্তায় ফিরে আসতে হবে এবং এই প্রতিজ্ঞা করতে হবে আপনি আর কোনোদিন পাপ কাজে লিপ্ত হবেন না এবং আপনাকে যত সম্ভব পাপ কাজ থেকে দূরে থাকার চেষ্টা করতে হবে। আর এই আমলটি করার আগে এই বিশ্বাস রাখতে হবে যে আল্লাহ তাআলার এই আমলটি পাঠ করার ফলে আমার ভাগ্য পরিবর্তন হয়ে যাবে ইনশাআল্লাহ। এই বিশ্বাস রেখে আমলটি আপনি করবেন, ইনশাআল্লাহ আপনি খুব শীঘ্রই ধনী হয়ে যাবেন। চারিদিক থেকে ধন সম্পদ শুধু আসতেই থাকবে ইনশাআল্লাহ। আর এই আমলটি আপনাকে অবশ্যই পাকসাফ অবস্থায় করতে হবে, নাপাকি অবস্থায় একদমই করা যাবে না। তাই আমলটি অবশ্যই পাকসাফ থাকা অবস্থায় করবেন। এই নিয়মগুলি অবশ্যই আপনাকে পালন করতে হবে। এই নিয়মগুলির উপর অবশ্যই আপনাকে অটল থাকতে হবে, তবে আপনি আমলটি করে পরিপূর্ণ ফল পাবেন। আপনার ধন সম্পদ বৃদ্ধি পেতে থাকবে, আপনার অনেক টাকা পয়সা হবে এবং এতই গায়েবী সম্পত্তি পাবেন যে আপনি আল্লাহর শুকরিয়া আদায় করে কুল পাবেন না। আর এই আমলটি আপনাকে অবশ্যই রাতে জানালার পাশে দাঁড়িয়ে করতে হবে। আপনি আমলটি করার আগে আপনাকে 7 বার দরুদ শরীফ পাঠ করতে হবে। আপনি চাইলে যে কোনো দরুদ শরীফ পাঠ করতে পারেন যেটা আপনার মুখস্থ আছে। তারপরেও আপনাদেরকে একটি দরুদ শরীফ পাঠ করে শোনাচ্ছি, আপনি চাইলে এটিও পড়তে পারেন। সাল্লাল্লাহু আলাইহি ওয়াসাল্লাম। এটি হলো সবচেয়ে ছোট দরুদ শরীফ। আপনি এই দরুদ শরীফটি পড়তে পারেন অথবা যে কোনো দরুদ শরীফ যেটা আপনার মুখস্থ আছে সেটাও চাইলে পড়তে পারেন। এরপর আপনি এই শব্দটি 41 বার পাঠ করবেন, ইয়া বাসিতু ইয়া বাসিতু। শব্দটি 41 বার পড়া শেষ হলে আবারও 7 বার দরুদ শরীফ পাঠ করবেন যেটা আপনি প্রথমে পাঠ করেছিলেন। তারপর আল্লাহ তাআলার কাছে দুহাত তুলে দোয়া করবেন তিনি যেন আপনার সকল অভাব দূর করে দেয়, আপনার সংসারে সচ্ছলতা বৃদ্ধি করে দেন, আপনাকে অভাবগ্রস্ততা থেকে মুক্তি দান করেন, আপনাকে হালাল উপার্জনের উপায় করে দেন।